amendment. Yesterday evening, counsel to Mr. Bannon requested a one-week adjournment of our response to a letter I wrote on October 15th, which stated that Mr. Bannon's willful defiance of the Select Committee's subpoena would lead to tonight's hearing. Without objection, I included my October 15th letter in the record, as well as yesterday's letter from Robert J. Costello, Mr. Bannon's attorney. Mr. Bannon's attorney said they needed time to, quote, assess the Select Committee's request in light of litigation filed by former President Trump in the District of Columbia District Court yesterday. However, the former president's lawsuit is immaterial to Mr. Bannon's defiance of our lawful subpoena. I made that clear in a letter to Mr. Costello this morning. Without objections, my full letter is in the record. Furthermore, White House yesterday issued a letter to Mr. Bannon's attorney stating, quote, "We are not aware of any basis for your client's refusal to appear for a deposition," end quote, before the Select Committee, and further said that, quote, "President Biden has already determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not in the public interest and therefore is not justified with respect to certain subjects within the purview of the Select Committee," end quote. Without objection, I include the full White House letter in the record. This amendment, in the nature of a substitute, updates the report to reflect these developments, and it's now even clearer that Mr. Bannon has no lawful grounds not to comply with our subpoena. If there's no further debate, the question is on agreeing to the amendment in the nature of a substitute. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. In opinion of the chairs, the ayes have it, and the amendment in the nature of a substitute is agreed to. I now recognize the Vice Chair, Ms. Cheney, for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the committee favorably report to the House the committee's report on a resolution recommending that the House of Representatives find Stephen K. Bannon in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with a subpoena duly issued by the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol, as amended.
The question on the motion is favorably report to the House. Those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed, no. In opinion of the chairs, the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I request a recorded vote.
A recorded vote is requested. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Cheney?
Aye.
Ms. Lofgren?
Yes.
Ms. Lofgren? Aye. Mr. Schiff?
Aye.
Mr. Schiff? Aye. Mr. Aguilar?
Aye.
Mr. Aguilar? Aye. Mrs. Murphy?
Aye.
Mrs. Murphy? Aye. Mr. Raskin?
Aye.
Mr. Raskin? Aye. Mrs. Luria?
Aye.
Mrs. Luria? Aye. Mr. Kinzinger?
Aye.
Mr. Kinzinger? Aye.
Has the chair recorded?
Mr. Chairman, you are not recorded.
I vote aye.
Mr. Chairman, aye.
The clerk will report the vote.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, there are 9 ayes,